Video opens with a slightly distorted, handheld camera shot of the narrator, perhaps in a dimly lit room, simulating a found footage style. What is it about that shaky cam, the grainy footage, and the feeling that you're watching something you were never supposed to see? That, my friends, is the chilling magic of found footage cinema. It's a genre that doesn't just show you a monster. It convinces you the monster is real, and it's right there, just outside the frame. Today, we're grabbing our flashlights and venturing deep into the unseen horrors of found footage. Forget polished Hollywood productions with perfect lighting and soaring scores. The power of found footage lies in its deliberate imperfection. It strips away the comfort of cinematic language we've all grown accustomed to. There's no dramatic music to warn us of a jump scare, no slick editing to cut away from the terror. We are stuck in the moment, experiencing the dread in real time, right alongside the characters. It's this raw, unfiltered perspective that hijacks our brains and blurs the line between fiction and a terrifying reality. Think about the Blair Witch Project. For a long time, people genuinely believed it was real. Why? Because it felt authentic. The actors' fear wasn't just acting. They were genuinely lost, cold, and sleep-deprived in those woods. The directors used the format to create a psychological pressure cooker. We never see the witch, but the cracking twigs, the strange symbols, and the panicked, tearful apologies to the camera create a monster in our minds far scarier than any CGI creation could ever be. The true horror isn't what's on screen, it's what our own imagination conjures in the darkness. This concept is what I call negative space horror. The filmmaker gives you just enough information to let your mind fill in the terrifying blanks. In the first Paranormal Activity film, what do we actually see for most of the runtime? A door moving, a sheet being pulled, some powder on the floor. It's mundane stuff, but the context, the static bedroom camera, the ticking clock, the escalating sense of dread turns these simple events into proof of a demonic presence. Our minds connect the dots, and suddenly, a quiet, empty hallway becomes the most terrifying place on earth. The fear comes from the anticipation, the agonizing wait for something anything to happen in that unnervingly still frame. Found footage also brilliantly exploits our most primal fears. Fear of the dark. Check. Claustrophobia. Doubly check. The fear of being alone and helpless. That's the entire genre. Take the Spanish film *Rec*. By trapping the characters and us, the viewers inside a quarantined apartment building with a fast-spreading infection, it creates an almost unbearable sense of claustrophobia. The narrow hallways, the frantic camera movements as the cameraman tries to escape, it all makes our own living rooms feel like they're shrinking. We're not just watching a story, we're trapped inside it, experiencing the panic firsthand. Another key element is the unreliable narrator. The person holding the camera is our only window into this world, but can we trust them? Their panic dictates what we see and what we don't. When they drop the camera or run screaming into the darkness, we are plunged into that same chaos and blindness. This is the opposite of a traditional film where an omniscient director guides our view. Here, our guide is just as terrified and confused as we are. This shared vulnerability is what makes the experience so deeply personal and unsettling. We want them to turn the camera to see what made that noise, but they don't, and that denial of information is its own form of torture. And the genre is constantly evolving. Films like **Host**, shot entirely over a Zoom call, brought found footage into the modern age, preying on our shared experience of digital isolation during the pandemic. It proved the format isn't just about lost tapes in the woods anymore. It can be a screen recording, a video call, it taps into the technology that permeates our daily lives and turns it against us, asking, what if the horror wasn't in some remote cabin, but right here on the devices we use every single day? The genius of found footage is that it makes the audience do the heavy lifting. It provides the framework, the shaky camera, the muffled sounds, and then it whispers, you fill in the rest. It understands that the horrors we imagine are always more potent, more personal, and more lasting than any special effect. It doesn't just want to scare you for 90 minutes, it wants to make you think twice the next time you hear a strange noise in your house at night, or see a glitchy video file on your computer. It turns the entire world into a potential source of unseen terror. So, why do we love it so much? Why do we seek out these grainy, nauseating, and downright terrifying films? Perhaps it's because, in a world saturated with slick, overproduced content, the raw authenticity of found footage feels real. It taps into a morbid curiosity, the part of us that can't look away from a car crash, the part that wants to believe, just for a moment, that what we're seeing might not be a movie at all. It's a cinematic dare, and we can't help but accept the challenge. What are some of your favorite found footage films? Which ones made you sleep with the lights on? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear what scares you the most. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into the dark. If you enjoyed this exploration, please hit that like button and consider subscribing for more content that looks into the shadows of cinema. Stay safe and maybe double check your locks tonight. See you next time.